So, it is Wednesday. It is late. It's 10. Um, Generally, I try not to do my videos this late. I don't like the lighting. I have other things to do. But as I was very busy this morning, and throughout the day, and then had weird snafus to worry about, here we are. So, for those of you who don't know who I am Aradia Nawari. I'm the resident witch and creatrix over to Radia's Hand and Danaeus Divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life through art, intuition, and energy work. So, on Wednesdays, I like to talk about what I have been working on. It's a little check-in. I'll show the projects as well as just the intentions that I set on Monday. So, let's see. What do my notes say? Oh, as always, the pictures will be in the post below. If you head over to Patreon, you'll see them. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link at the very top of the description box, and that'll take you over to the corresponding Patreon post, and you'll be able to see all the pictures. And you can comment there. You can comment here. I'm going to adjust my chair, though. Ooh, that's better. I like that. I just grew. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, Work in Progress Wednesday is a holdover from the fiber community. And a lot of other artists like to use it. And it's just to show progress because, day in, day out, when you work on something that's very long-term and labor-intensive, it can seem like day-to-day that you don't really see any progress. You can work for an hour or two and you've gotten maybe a couple of rounds or a couple of rows in, depending on what you're making. And so giving it more time, like every week, if you work on it a little bit each day, you're more likely to see a lot bigger a turnaround in results. So, I like to pop in because I love the Work in Progress Wednesday, just like I love the Finished Object Friday. And I wanted to share that with y'all here so that you get the first look of all the stuff that I'm doing, where I am with it. You'll get to hear all the nitty-gritty things that maybe you won't hear elsewhere. So, woo! Yeah. Let's get this party started. So before we do any of that, I want to talk about the check-in for the things that I said I was going to work on this week and where we are with that. So I'm here, still going. I've been showing up here. And so I can see that. I haven't gotten any more of the repricing done. I started working on other things and so went in that direction. As it was, I actually added all of it to my Kanban, like literally added each individual item and organized them and then put them in priority and put them in order. So that took a while. And that was last night. And so by the time I was done, I was pretty tired because it's a lot. It is a lot. I don't know how many, but it's a lot of things. So there's that. And that's just one business. I had to do the other one too. It's just got way less, which is good. So there's that. I also did a little bit of organizing of my Kanban today. Just moving some stuff around, adding some things, looking at what I've got there. I was like, okay, have we done this? Making sure that all the latest things that came up were up to date and on there to be done. But most of today, I spent pre-recording haul videos. So one of the things about being here is I like to be here every day. I like to show up 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That is my preference. That is what I'm aiming to do. And part of that is because I don't do that anywhere else. You don't see me on social media every single day. You don't see me in my newsletter or posting stuff to the website every single day. So this is like a special thing that you get to hang out with me like way more than anybody else does. Ow, 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 ow. I just kicked my desk. So that's super important. As it is, that means that's a lot of videos. Now, some of you might say, oh, well, you don't have to show up as much. Well, I've already made the decision that that's what I want to do. So we're doing it. That's it. But just because it's a lot doesn't mean I can't work smarter. So one of the ways that I do that is I try to pre-record things when I can. So usually that is Stash Cast. I can pre-record fairly easily. Those are not like time sensitive. Hauls, whether it's art, business, magic, intuitive, or biz hauls. I could do the project time, but I don't like to do that. the project time gets to be done on that day. That's like some strict hangout time. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I like to do my project time live. And it's not something I can do live from where I am anymore. So you just basically get to watch me work. Unfortunately, it's not live anymore. We're working towards it being a thing though. So there's that. And then some of the potluck posts can be pre-recorded. So that still leaves me showing up here live on the day of, on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, most Saturdays. Yeah, so that's at least half the week, right? But so I know that last year around the beginning of the year, well, this year around the beginning of the year, I got a bunch queued up. And then I had my life exploded and a bunch of stuff just like went to hell. And having had that stuff pre-recorded so that there was a video, at least one, going out every week, made me feel like I wasn't ignoring y'all when I had a rough patch. So that is really awesome to do. And it definitely reduces the stress because then I don't worry, well, I haven't shown up in like weeks, and you know everybody thinks I've abandoned them, and you know there's a lot of stress, and what are the consequences of this going to be? So this, that, and the other. So it is nice to like not have to deal with that. And it's a better use of my time than to like rush. And that means on the days that I have stuff already recorded, especially when I've got it recorded several weeks out, that means that I can spend more time making art or promoting or whatever, anything else. It doesn't matter. Whatever needs to be done, right? So yeah, strategic use of one's time, good idea, especially when you have a limited amount of it, and especially when you have a limited amount of energy, because that's the other thing this helps. It helps me for those days, those weeks when I don't have any energy and I just don't have it in me to show up. Yay, depression. For me to be able to rest and not have that hanging over my head of, oh, hey, well, you know, you said you were going to do this and you might feel like death warmed over, but you said you were going to do it. It's like, don't start with me. So there we go. And now to the goods. I haven't done this in a while. I feel like I haven't been sharing like stuff live or as I'm recording. And sorry. I completely forgot to turn my sound off on my computer. Let me fix that. Oh, there we go. Ha! Okay. Sorry. So I feel like I haven't like shared things, and the thing with it is I like to share things in the video. I prefer that, you know, I take pictures and then you can see a really good, clear look at what it looks like. But the whole process of sharing it, you know, there's something you can see all sides of it and stuff like that. So there's that. And most of the time I just forget. So what I will say about the pictures today is I did not think about any of this today, like at all, because I was busy trying to get as many things recorded as I possibly could. As a result, that means I didn't take any of the pictures for this post. I didn't even think about it. So I'm going to not put any of the pictures up at all, take new pictures tomorrow, update the post. There's some that I will probably already have pictures of, and I don't have a better one, so I'll put those in there. But like one of the things I like to do is take a picture of all the stuff together, and I absolutely don't have a picture of that because that changes week to week, so I can't plan that one out. So, okay. Now, here we go. First up, let's see if I can reach and not knock stuff over. First of all, I'm using my balloon animal bag. You see the little baby arm? Just like, help me, help. Yeah, see, if you just went on the pictures, you wouldn't get to see that. It's me being weird. Oh my gosh. So, let's see. Nothing like a disembodied head. So, this baby is done. Baby head. Okay, so there's this weird thing, right? You've got to tell you this story. Benefit of watching the video, you get my word tangents that I don't put in the copy. So, I have been on a secret mission to gather things to make found object art and recycled art and things like just it's kind of a big statement piece, and it's especially a thing if it's stuff that's been discarded because it's kind of that's a statement in and of itself. So, um, yeah. Anyway, one of the things I found was a doll head, like a plastic baby doll head. And I have a bin in my car that used to have trash in it, and I got a new trash can. And so this is like seen better days. But if I put stuff that's been discarded and maybe is a little dirty and gross, that's fine. That's not a big deal. And it's not touching my car, so that's cool too. And so I put the baby head in there. And now I put it in the back seat. And I have a curious creature who rides in my back seat. So all of a sudden I hear in this squeaky tiny child voice, "Baby head!" What? And she's just going on about this. "Oh, I have a baby head. This is a baby head." And I'm just like, it is, as in fact what it is. So, it's, my child's so weird. So weird. So, that's the thing now. Baby head. Baby head. So, yeah. That's why that's funny to me. It's probably not funny. It's funny to me. So now we also have an arm, right? So one arm. And I was supposed to work on this last night. I didn't. I'm supposed to work on it tonight. I'm probably not going to. But here's the hand. Here's the start. Help me help. So there's that. And, just an excuse to use my new bag. Let me just tell you. Oh, yeah. So, it's really slowly coming along, and part of why it's so slow is I'm doing a new documentation progress. And I did this documentation process, not progress, although technically, yeah, sure. I did this with the Severin cardigans, affectionately called that damn sweater. And every time I got to a section, I would stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture. And with distinct sections. So with the arm, I would do after the very first round was done, and then after the hand is done, and then after the whole arm is done. And that's because those are distinct stopping and starting points. So there's that. With other stuff like the cozy shrug, there's a cast on, and then you make a giant rectangle. So until I get to the point where I'm seaming, there's not anything to share. And so because of that, every project it's different. I don't want to bore you to tears showing you the same flippin' thing day in and day out. So that's kind of a thing. Let's see. Put this all to the side. As far as where I am in that, I've got, as you saw, the head and the eyes are done. It's stuffed. One arm is done. It is not stuffed. The second arm has been started. And then what's left is obviously the rest of the arm, the body, both legs, the outfit, and the hair. And, yeah. Oh, and she's got shoes. I mean, that's part of her outfit. So there's that. And the hair's last. And I have no idea what kind of hairstyle I'm going to do. I am still thinking about it. Because my theme has a basis I'm making, so I need to figure out how to do that hairstyle or recreate it if I can. And as far as how I feel about it, I'm super excited. This is going to be my first doll that I've been able to make. I've made amigurumi before, and usually it's like little animals, right? Little anthropomorphic things. So it's not been like humanoid, like per se. And this will be my first doll. This will be a full-size doll. I mean, she's gonna be little, but a full-size doll. And yeah, I'm super excited. So next up, oh goodness, where am I? Oh my gosh. Oh, my super secret project. Okay, so I'm on the fence about whether I want to show you this picture or not. The person it's for follows me. And I know that there's a chance they'll see it. And I don't want them to see it because it's a big secret. So I think I'm going to have to hold out on you. Sorry. Yeah. It might get shared in my group because I know they're not there. And it might get shared in my newsletter because I know they're not there. So that might be where. And if, well, so there you go. Hey, if you want to get like some of the secret stuff, yeah, maybe that's where to be. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna keep it to myself. Anyway, I've got it over there. Just not gonna show. It's black and white though. That's what I can tell you. It's black and white, and the first section is done. So I'm super excited to be working on this. Honestly, it has got 17 distinct sections. They're not all the same size, by the way. This is a clear delineation between this part and this part. So that's how I'm going to be taking the pictures. I did the cast on because I decided to hell with the swatch. I decided that the beginning of it would be the swatch, and that would just be good enough. And it's double knit, so it's a little thicker than just flat knitting, or single layer knitting would be, which is fine, no big deal. But I saw this a while ago, really, and I had intentions or thought about making it for somebody who, because hey, life happens, right? We're no longer speaking. I don't want anything to do with them, so I certainly don't want to do anything nice to them. Well, when I stopped associating with them, I made some new friends, and one of them is somebody who I know will lose their shit over this. Super, super into it. And so I know they're going to appreciate it. And so I'm happy to do it. And that's kind of how I don't do birthdays, I don't do holidays when it comes to gifts. My philosophy is if I see something and I think of you, then that's the appropriate time I need to get that and give it to you, right? And ideally, I should know you well enough to know whether you would like it, whether it's to your taste, whether you would appreciate it, or whatever. And it's not usually super extravagant things, but things that take effort. So like this, I can't tell you how many hours I've worked on it so far. Actually, that's a lie. I totally can. Let's see. I happen to have my Ravelry open. Ooh. And this, by the way, this is just one section. So I'll give you, I can't show it to you, so I'll give you the stats. At this point, we are at 19 rows. I have worked on this for 3 hours, 55 minutes, and 30 seconds. And I am at 1,634 stitches. And that does not look like 1,000 stitches. It really doesn't. So it certainly doesn't look like over 1,500. But the math is right, so yeah. And that's me being a nerd. I really wanted to get to the point where I am keeping count of not just the time, but the amount of stitches, because I'm curious. And so people can just kind of get an idea of, all 1,600 of those stitches, each one had to be made individually by hand. And so that kind of puts into perspective how it took 3 hours and why it took, almost 4. So there's that. I got the first section done. It looks like there are 17 sections. There's one section in the middle that's really big. That's probably like the size of 3 or 4 of the other sections, but we're going to call it 1 and just call it good. And I'm going to, that's going to be the one where there's the longest time in between me probably talking about it or taking any pictures. Not that you're going to see them, but so there's that. Gosh, where am I? And yeah, I just gotta go do the 17 sections. Now, this thing has fringe. I don't know that I'm gonna do fringe. One, because I hate fringe, honestly. And from a perspective of usefulness and whatnot, fringe has the tendency to tangle and become unruly and catch on stuff. And so that's why I'm not super digging the whole idea of fringe. I will accept their input though. If they want fringe, I will put fringe on there. If they would rather not have fringe, I will be like, great, here you go. So we'll see. I'll let that be the deciding factor because It's for them. They should like it. So there's that. I really am excited about this. I'm excited enough that I kind of want one myself, but I also kind of want to make like a miniature one now, like a really tiny one. And now I also want to make a really big one. What? Like, this is worsted weight. I want to do one that is super bulky. Which, do I have any super bulky? Oh, I do. Okay, I can show you these strand differences. So, look, this video is turning out to be way longer than I thought it was going to be. Like, sorry and shit, I guess. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to be careful about that. Haha, there we go. So, I'm going to very, very carefully so you don't see it. Okay, I'll hold it up next to the white one because it'll be easier to see. So, this is the difference. This is the white, this is the worsted. And that is the bulky, and we don't want to. So you can see there's a big difference there. I would say it's, you know, about double the size-ish or so. So there's that. Yeah, super, super excited about that. And you'll see that in a minute, a few minutes. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that now. I think I'm going to have to get some, I've got to decide what kind of thread I want to use. And also, depending on what size thread, do I have something small enough to knit with that? I don't know. I don't think I do. Which means I'm going to have to, like, find something. That's going to be weird. Okay, so we're going to and here's what I'll do. I will, I'll make them after I do this. One, so I can hurry up and finish this. And two, because the amount of yarn I'm going to have to buy for the big one, I can't even remotely begin to understand how much yarn that is. And we'll have to have story time about that later. But substituting yarn, which I have a really bad habit of this, where I decide, oh, I'm going to make it bigger, so I'm going to use bigger yarn. You know what that does? That means you use so much more yarn. Because I'm not knitting over this or crocheting over the same distance. This is knit, but you know, either way. I am doing the amount of rows difference. Or between, it's the same amount of rows. And then you've got to consider how much bigger are those stitches, how much more yarn it takes to make those stitches, how much bigger are the rows. It's a lot. It's a freaking lot. Do I even have any? I don't even think I have any of those colors. Like, I might have some black. But I don't think I have any whites. And I definitely would want to do in black and white. Because I want them all to be the same. I might use embroidery thread for the tiny one. I might also use some crochet cotton. I've got some size 10. I actually have 80 in black and whites in thread. That size 80 thread is wow. And I can't think of what size something. Maybe I could get some surgical pins. Those might work. Or something like that. That sounds gruesome. Speaking of surgical pins, I used to have 2 in my hand. That was fun times. Super fun. Yeah, I'm being weird. So weird. Yeah. So, okay, I've hinted and not told you enough about it. Now I've got to go and I got to figure out what size knitting needle I would need for size 80 thread. And if I can't find something, I might use size 10. And if I can't find something for that, I might use, there's size 5 and size 3. 5 is bigger than 10 and 3 is bigger than that. And I'm pretty sure embroidery floss is somewhere between 3 and 5-ish. It's a completely different thread, so it's a completely different sizing system. Anyway, and if I wanted to get really really low, I would take one of the strands out of the embroidery thread, because I'm pretty sure that might actually be smaller than the size 80 thread. Look, this is how these things happen. And if you knew what I was talking about and you understood how many rows it was, I think I did count. I did count. And but anyway, you would know how utterly ridiculous this is. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. That's what Rhino would say, right? So that's gonna happen now, because I'm a weirdo. Now we got the Boneyard. Okay, so we're gonna circle back to that one. I'm gonna do these out of order based on how they are. So if you're like the one who watches this and then reads through, yes, I know I'm doing it out of order. I'm doing that on purpose because I want to end with the Boneyard because I'm really excited about that. So here is our, here's the back. Yep. Here's our sweater. It is just a rectangle. That's all it is right now. I don't know, it's a couple inches long. I've got to get to 100 and something, and I think I'm like 20 or 30 in, something like that. So I got a ways to go, but it's just flat back and forth knitting, and it is whoa, it's pretty lengthy. This is good. I'm watching a TV show, kind of knitting, or I need something to do with my hands, but I don't want to like super concentrate. And then I've got it in my cool Harry Potter bag that my friendy got me. We did a haul on that. If I can find the video, I will put it in the links below, so you can watch that one too. Okay, there we go. Now, the other thing I want to show, let's not make a huge mess. So, I'm going to do this in two parts because it's actually two things. So, we've got our tea basket. This is the beginning of it. This was the test. This is the waistcoat basket pattern, and I decided I wanted to make it shallower. And I decided that this was a good height. I'm going to make it not quite as wide, and this is how wide it is, so it's pretty freaking huge. This is a fabric tape essentially, so it's super thick, and that one's mine, and my friend will be getting this. It's kind of like a stonewash blue, like a Carolina blue. Personally, I hate the color, I'm gonna be honest with you, so that's why I'm not upset about getting rid of it. I hope that they don't hate it. I'm sorry. I hope they don't hate it, but I'll understand if they do. So, now, more Harry Potter. We have, okay, so I've just got to make the rectangle. Let's back that up. Rectangle, finish it, seam about 6 inches in on either side to make the sleeves. Done. I also am going to have to take pictures of it, so I'm probably going to have to like connive somebody to be like, here, look, I need you to like put this on and be still for like a few minutes. The basket, I'm just going to make the base and make it's the same height. I haven't decided what I'm doing with the top yet. I was thinking about, there's handles that go on it. I was thinking about doing those, but I don't know. It would make it carryable to a greater degree, so there's that. But I'm also making it smaller, so I'm gonna have to like do math. And decide how big these handles are and where they're gonna go. So that is something I didn't think about. Snizzle fit. So there's that. But that's it. Now, let's see if I can get this out of here without messing it up. So, look. Okay. Far be it for me to do anything simply. Ever. Look, I fuss about that. But honestly, it's funny. It's hilarious. So, just laugh. This is the beginning of my Boneyard. Okay, now first of all, This looks incredibly vibrant. That looks like freaking grape. It's not that bright. That is my light distorting things, just like my skin's not quite this pale. So as you can see there's little holes, right? The Boneyard has two modes. Either you put eyelets everywhere, that's what these holes are, right? Okay, right there. Or you use a different type of increase that just basically makes a ridge. So what I decided to do is I wanted to do both. And that's what I'm doing. And this is gonna be in my notes in Ravelry, but I'm going to, every time you increase, so you increase on the outsides and in the center, right? So it grows pretty quickly. Like this is not that many. There's not that many rows, and it's already getting a good ways. And I started off with 5 stitches, so there you go. So you're adding 4 stitches, yeah, every row. Well, every other row, excuse me, because the backside is just doing a stitch per stitch and just finishing it. Anyway, when there are eyelets on the outside, there are ridges on the center. And when I use eyelets on the center, I use ridges on the outside. And that the difference is it's a different type of increase. The whole point of an increase is you add a stitch. And there are different kinds of increases. Some increases lean to the left, some lean to the right. I'm sure I did that wrong. Whatever. The eyelets make holes. And then there's things like drop stitches, which is not an increase. It's just the lengthening of a stitch. It's not the same thing as an increase. So that's also for a friend of mine who I know follows me in some places, but it's not here. And I don't think they follow me avidly enough to know that it's them. So I'm super excited about that. I've made one of Stephen West's designs before. I did the slip stitch shawl. Also, incidentally, for a friend of mine. She loved blue, and I had this skein of, it was gorgeous blue yarn that it was just one skein, and I wasn't gonna do anything with it because I'm not a big blue fan. She loved blue, so I made her a shawl, and I made it with that one because that shawl was textured, and I said, all right, here you go, and she was very excited about it. So that was cool. So I get to do this. I like to play gift miss, whatever. So there's that. I can't wait to see how this is going to be done. I've got 4 balls of yarn for it. 2 to 3 is what most people are using, but you always buy one more than you need, just in case, because you never know with tension how you're going to be. And basically, because it's not like you're not working to a certain length. You work to whatever length you want to work to. And because of that, I have no idea how long this is going to take. So I'm going for 36 inches or something like that. See how that works out. The spine from the middle to the tip of the shawl. And see how that works out. Yeah. I might do some recon, get somebody to do some recon for me and be like, hey, I need you to find out about where this is on this person. It's a weird ass question. Although they're partners, last I checked, so it will be less weird for that to be a thing. So there's that. Right. That's it. That's everything. Gosh, why is this video so long? Cheese and crackers. Okay. I do like the lovely tingling sound my stamped keychain makes with that, which I bought with it. It says mischief managed because I'm a dork. So I can't believe I gotta write that down. I forgot. My brain tried to dump that information. Let's see. 80, 10, 5, or 3. And there we go. Okay. I'm gonna see if I have some black and white. I might. No, I don't have any white. No, damn. And I can't justify getting any right now. I would need so much. Like, I can't even begin to think how much I need. So, this video is incredibly long. I still have to transfer it and then upload it, so I gotta go. Yeah. I would love to hear from you. What are you working on this week? Where are you? How do you feel about it? You can drop me a comment below this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or Patreon. And if you're on YouTube, I encourage you to like, subscribe so that you can get more videos like this. And if you click the little bell every time I put a video up, it'll be like, hey, that weirdo put a video up. You want to watch it? So, yay! I talk with my hands. It's a thing. And sometimes my hands talk. Oh, goodness. Oh. Weirdo. Yeah, okay. So, you can find me at Aradia's Hand and Danae's Divine. Links are below in the description box. You can also find my active social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And, you know, come see what I'm up to. Be a weirdo. Say hi. Tell me where my planner is. No idea? No idea? Okay, so, we got a thing. We got a thing. I don't know where it is. Alright, we're just gonna wing it. I'm gonna guess that, so here's the thing. If you stay till the end of the videos, I will tell you what we're gonna do tomorrow. Theoretically, it is project time. Now, I'm saying theoretically, because I don't actually know, because I can't find my planner. Let me see. Tomorrow is the 19th. Okay, last Thursday was the full moon. So, yes, tomorrow is project time. Because I can't think of any, there's no, yeah, it's the 19th. Yule is Saturday. So, okay, there you go. Anyway, project time is tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to work on. Usually I do a poll. I did not do a poll this time because I forgot. I haven't touched my planner in days. And so the reminder to, hey, you need to do this did not happen. Oops. So, yeah. That's a thing. I might have to like find it, like set an alarm somehow so I remember my calendar. Maybe that requires me to check it. So, yeah, I hate checking my email so much. That's it. We're done. I'm done rambling. I want to eat the strawberries that are behind this camera, and the blueberries and the raspberries. So, thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for enjoying my absolutely rambliness, and thanks for the idea to make super tiny, super huge one of these super secret squirrel projects. Because what? Yeah. So weird. So weird. I'll see you tomorrow. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. You get some sleep. Hope you enjoyed this. And remember, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to see the pictures, you're going to have to go to that link at the top. But tonight, I'm not going to put the pictures in there. So you're going to have to do it tomorrow. And like I would say tomorrow midday. Because I got to take the pictures in the morning and then put them in there. And goodness knows what else is going to pop in my brain. But, yeah. So I'm actually going to put no pictures in there. So if you visit it and you don't see any pictures, that means I haven't put them in there yet. Instead of you having to come back because I put more pictures in there. Right? That makes sense. Okay, we'll do that. Toodles!